Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Umuakala, there was a woman named Nena. She was known for her beauty, grace, and her ability to command respect without uttering a single word. But beneath that flawless exterior was a heart as cold as ice. Nena was a widow, and her late husband, Chukudi, had died under mysterious circumstances that many in the village whispered about, but none dared to speak aloud. Chukudi had been a wealthy man, and his marriage to Nena was filled with promise. However, their home was never peaceful. Chukudi loved Nena deeply, but she seemed to harbor a deep-seated resentment for him. She would often lash out at him with words sharp as daggers, causing him pain that no physical wound could match. Yet, despite the emotional torment, Chukudi remained devoted to her, hoping that one day she would see the love he had for her. One fateful night, Chukudi fell ill, and within a few days, he was dead. The village mourned his passing, but there was an unspoken tension in the air. Some suspected foul play, but Nena played the part of the grieving widow so convincingly that no one dared to voice their suspicions. As per tradition, she shaved her head, wore black, and wept publicly, but those close to her noticed that her tears seemed forced, almost as if she were mocking them. With Chukudi gone, Nena inherited his wealth, and her demeanor changed. She became even more distant, more unapproachable, and her coldness only grew. She refused to remarry, claiming that no man could ever replace her beloved Chukudi. But the truth was far more sinister. Nena had no intention of ever loving another man. She had grown to despise them, seeing them only as tools to be used and discarded. One day, a man named Chud, a wealthy trader from a neighboring village, came to Umuakala. He was immediately drawn to Nena's beauty and was determined to make her his wife. Despite warnings from the villagers about Nena's past, Chud pursued her relentlessly. Nena, seeing an opportunity, allowed Chud to court her, but she had no intentions of love or companionship. She saw in Chud a chance to expand her wealth and power. Chud was oblivious to the warnings and married Nena, bringing her to his home. At first, things seemed peaceful, but soon, Chud began to feel a sense of dread. Nena's coldness became more apparent, and Chud found himself living in constant fear. Every night, he would hear whispers in the dark, voices that sounded like his late wife's, accusing him of betrayal. His health began to deteriorate, just as Chukudi's had, and Chud realized too late that he was trapped in a web of deceit and malice. Nena watched with cold indifference as Chud withered away. His once strong frame became frail, and his once vibrant spirit was crushed under the weight of Nena's unrepentant nature. As he lay on his deathbed, Chud finally understood the truth. The woman he had married was not just a widow, she was a harbinger of death, a soul so consumed by bitterness and greed that she would stop at nothing to destroy those who loved her. With his last breath, Chud cursed Nena, swearing that she would never find peace. But Nena did not care. She had gotten what she wanted. Chud's wealth was now hers, and she was free once again. She returned to Umuakala, her heart as cold and unyielding as ever, unrepentant and unafraid. But as the years went by, the curse began to take its toll. Nena found herself haunted by the ghost of the men she had destroyed. Their voices filled her ears, their faces filled her dreams, and no matter where she went, she could not escape them. Her wealth became a burden, her power a curse, and she realized too late that she had become a prisoner of her own making. Nena's once beautiful face grew hollow, her eyes sunken and haunted. She was shunned by the villagers, who whispered that she was a witch, cursed by the spirits of the men she had wronged. She wandered the village, a shadow of her former self, consumed by the fear she had once inflicted on others. In the end, Nena died alone, her wealth and power meaningless in the face of the torment she endured. The villagers buried her in an unmarked grave, hoping to put an end to the fear and pain she had caused. But the story of the unrepentant widow lived on, a cautionary tale of the dangers of greed, bitterness, and the unrelenting pursuit of power. And so, the memory of Nena remained, a specter in the minds of those who heard her tale, a reminder that some wounds never heal, and some spirits never rest.